If I don't get started, I probably won't start. Cause yeah, that's like the that's way my brain works these days. How's it going, everyone? Doing another lonely show today, but good news is Christine's been feeling better the last few days. Got out of the house a bit, errands type thing, and it didn't put her back in the bed for a day or two. So that was nice. You guys saw the title. I'm gonna be talking a bit about Horizon Forbidden West, Peacemaker, and potentially, I don't know if it's in the title or not. Potentially, depending on time and if I can remember, something from Grant Morrison, comic book writer, a very famous DC writer. If you haven't heard of him before, where you've been living at. Now, I know not everyone reads comics, but he had some things to say that I really agree on when it comes to superheroes, comic books, escapism, and realism, like putting reality into fantasy. So yeah, hopefully all my tech stuff works today. I actually recorded a couple of short clips to help me talk about Horizon Forbidden West. And I guess with that, guys, welcome to the almost daily cup of genre. I got in three episodes this week. The Genreverse Podcast Network's show where we get to talk about everything in geek, pop culture, and entertainment news. Sponsored by the good folks over at Grow Generation on LRMonline.com, Genreverse.com, and like I said, the Genreverse Podcast Network. It's available wherever you get your podcast from. Spotify, Google, Apple, SoundCloud, Stitcher, literally we're everywhere. We're free. Also on YouTube. No Patreons, no special content anywhere else. If you notice, we don't censor ourselves around here, which probably why it's a lot harder to grow. So we really rely on you guys to share, subscribe, come back and watch. Even if you can't bring yourself to hit the red subscribe button, we do appreciate all of the views, comments, and stuff like that. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Kyle at that Kyle Malone on Twitter. My wife is usually one of the main co-host for the last few months. I've had a bunch of people come through, spend times here. Joseph Jammer Medina used to be the editor-in-chief of the website, was the host co-host back when this was LR Mornings, and then Manny Gomez joined me there and helped bring it over into Daily COG. And when he started getting more things going on outside of the website, he had to step away. And Christine, who is on the Anime-Versal Reviews show with Brian and myself, she has been filling in, but not feeling well. So yeah. Horizon Forbidden West, a game that I absolutely love. Well, Zero Dawn, that is. I mean, look, I love that game so much. I got my disc plate. I took it off the wall. It sits above the computer. Actually, like, I loved Horizon. It's an amazing game. If you haven't played it, I can't suggest it enough. I really can't. Action adventure, little bit of RPG elements, but very linear, which is good because it's got a nice, good, tight narrative to it, and you don't want too much freedom getting in the way of that. I think some people think the freedom in a lot of open world like RPGs, like your Fallout and Skyrim, I think they feel like a linear story is constricting. But I look at it as more of like an interactive movie. Those types of games. That's what Final Fantasy games are to me. They're very interactive movies. And while you get a lot of freedom in our RPGs like Final Fantasy, the narrative, the core narrative is very linear. And those are fun games. And I love Fallout. Fallout 4 was a lot of fun. And I need to finish it, but it's been a lot of fun, I should say. But yeah, I really enjoyed Horizon, and I downloaded it. I got it pre-installed, all that good stuff, and I started playing it, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. But I realized there were a few issues. One of the issues, of course, was the textures that you could see here with like the acid and the popping. It looks so cartoony. I'm not quite sure how else to describe it. Let's see if I can get it to reset. There we go. Here you can see on the rocks that bubbling, like there's parts where there's not even green on it, and that texture's just off. And I know these are easy things to fix, but like this is only in the first hour of the game. But as you can see, a lot of the rest of it looks great. I did record this on my PS4 Pro, and so I had HDR on, so the colors might be a little off. But you can see the game does look good. It feels just like the first one, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. Because yes, some of the controls are a little bit clunky, but it's familiar, really easy to get into. They, it's a bit hold-handish for this kind of tutorial, intro dungeon, if you will. But it's not grating. Like you can understand. Hey, they're trying to please us people that have played it before, and make sure that someone that just decides to get this game, maybe watch the story recap online, and then get the sequel to play, that they can still learn. So I enjoyed that. Varl being there is great. A nice past character to kind of tag along. You get some exposition about what Aloy's got going on, what she's searching for this time. All in all, this intro dungeon is great. Introduces a lot of the mechanics. It's beautiful. It really is a very pretty game. And while that one texture issue was, an issue to say the least, there were a few other little glitches here and there. One of them being something with the snake's acid, which I'll show you in a minute. But all of these are easy to fix. I'm guessing. I saw some not like lost frames, but just straight up glitches. Maybe it would be a lost frame then. I'm having issues on my terminology for the moment, because I got so much stuff going on. So sorry if I get lost or distracted. But the screen would kind of black out, interacting with a certain item in between the like transition between the HUD and going back to in game, or kind of like the pop-up menu more than HUD. But it only happened on a couple of objects and interactions, and not with others that were similar. And then everything else was fine. The graphics look really good. Sounds really good. It's very, very, very pretty on I've got a NanoCell 2021 model. I think it's the 90 UHD. 75 inch, if I'm not mistaken. It's from LG. Real nice setup. PS4's hooked right into the TV directly. It's a PS4 Pro. Does all the good bells and whistles, 60, 120, depending on the mode. And you guys kind of saw how it looks. So I was really overall impressed with it, and the fact that most of these things I think can be patched up. I don't know about that acid texture. I don't know how much it's going to play into this game, but I really found an issue with it. And the other one I had an issue with is this snake. Okay, it's there in the beginning. This isn't a spoiler or anything. But you get to fight one of these fairly early in the game. Like I said, I only did the intro, and this acid that it's going to spit here in a second. It looks so cartoony. It's not on a good trajectory. Look at this. I'm looking down at my screen. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't look well animated. It looks like it's coming out of a weird angle, like it's just locked on. There's no real movement to it. It's almost like they just drew a clear tube and they had some stuff drip off of it and colored it. But other than that, like, do you see that? Like, holy crap, that looks awful. But then everything else looks pretty decent. It's this acid thing, because even this textures and colorization on the models where you're up close like that, it's still it's better than what we saw on the rocks. But man, I wanted more. Now this is the thing. Like I said, I'm on a PS4 Pro. Does this really look that different on the PS5? Maybe. The only thing I had turned off on this was motion blur. I don't like motion blur. I like seeing things as clear as possible. I know I'm a shameful sinner to some for that, but I am excited for this game. I'm excited to hang out with Aloy. Got to hang out with Varl. Gonna see Aaron soon. It seems like and you've seen him in the trailers. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to play more, which means I got to get through this show so I can get back to it. If you've played Forbidden West already, let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments below. Yeah, if you got a if you've got a PS5 version of the game, let me know if you notice any of those color or texture or even interaction issues. I'd be interested to know. Other than that, guys, it's holding up well. It feels very, very familiar. There's new things, new climbing mechanics, new ways to upgrade things. They actually explain why Aloy doesn't have all that great gear, not in any good depth. But whenever you have a sequel, you end up with a lot of shit at the end of the first game, and then whenever you get to the second one, it's usually you ain't got nothing. And here they're like, yeah, something happened. I lost it. So I like that they at least acknowledge it, kind of like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more. If you get that reference, good on you. So yeah, I guess what we'll do is take a word from our sponsors over at Grow Generation, and then we'll talk Peacemaker.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. Grow Generation is your one-stop shop for hydroponic grow supplies, product systems, and more. Grow Generation serves customers across the nation and carries a wide inventory of renowned cultivation brands. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
Thank you guys so much for sponsoring the episode. Really, really appreciate it, Grow Gen. What did I say I was going to talk about? Oh, Peacemaker. Sorry, I'm doing my timestamps. I like to get the kind of like the roundabout time that I'm talking about something, so it's easier to find the specific for you guys when I go in and edit and type this up each day. Peacemaker, great show. Holy crap! Did I not expect this show to be as good as it was? As a matter of fact, I was 3 weeks late getting to it. Christine and I got started watching it on week 3, so we got to watch three episodes in a row, and then wait in anguish like the rest of you had to since the beginning. And I'm gonna end up having to put my glasses on looking at the screens this much. I gotta find out what's causing this nausea with it. Although the blue light lenses do help, I hate the reflection. Ow, my shoulder. Anyways, Peacemaker's finale. I'm not gonna spoil anything. It's good. God is it good. It hits every note that you think it should. Beautiful music choices, and I don't just mean beautiful as in like, oh, I mean beautiful as a fuck yeah, that's awesome. I love the way they use this piece or that piece, that type of beautiful. Although this has had several beautiful moments, so knocked it out of the park. There's one issue with this movie, our movie show. One issue with this finale. Okay, in it, someone writing kind of pigeonholes this this a bit, and it's gonna feel dated. And it did. There's one thing that is said by a character about minor inconveniences, and in the context, you can definitely tell that it's, you know, hey, lockdowns, masks, whatever restrictions were minor inconveniences. Not that they mention a pandemic or anything like that, but it's kind of like a really, in the truest sense of the word, not the way it's overused today, but the way we used to talk about privilege. That mentality that all of these things that have caused a lot of other additional issues with substance abuses, increases in violence, educational and behavioral health issues in children, and not to mention the economic stuff. They aren't and weren't minor inconveniences. Other than that, and a little bit more to things that kind of, like I said, just date it, kind of pigeonhole it into the you guys were thinking of writing and making this in a certain time, which it's fine to have sometimes, but I think I could take a bathroom break whenever that scene comes up in a rewatch. Other than that, guys, James Gunn knocks it out of the park with wonderful gore. Cena, for all of his PR flubs last year, he did an amazing job as Peacemaker. Everyone, I love the entire cast. It's a blast of a show, and if you've not seen it, if you haven't watched it, if you've been thinking, oh, you know, it's DC. If you don't like I don't like DC. I don't relate to DC characters. I don't read their books very much anymore. Every now and then, when someone's like, oh, you got to check this out, I'll check something out. But it's not my bag, baby. But the show was great. And other things have been good. Like Shazam was really good. Yeah, that's really it. No, I mean, the Suicide Squad was great, of course, and I'm super excited to see the James Gunn announced the season 2, if I'm not mistaken, of Peacemaker, and then he also has another project going on that he's been teasing for a while that has been said to not be Peacemaker. I'm kind of hoping that maybe we'll get him in the magic realm, Zatanna, and that whole realm would be a lot of fun to see. James Gunn get to play with, and then of course more Peacemaker. There's a great cameo here, guys, in this, something no one in their right mind would have thought as possible for this show. So check it out, Peacemaker. If I were gonna grade the whole series, this is a solid fucking A. It is. It's a solid A from beginning to end. There's little bits and pieces here that you're like, I could have done something differently. Maybe cut a few seconds here. Some of the insulting scenes go on too long, but then it's all made up for in everything else, in story development, character development, and the fucking intro. Like never in my life have I wanted to watch something so ungodly awful that it's beautiful like that, man. It's real beautiful, man. Kevin Smith, damn. God, what is that character's name? Scott Mosier plays him. Snowball was the character's name in Clerks. It's beautiful, man. I know that's hippie sounding stuff from elsewhere, but yeah, I got kind of lost. So yeah, Peacemaker, it's good, guys. Check it out. Let me go ahead and write down what time do we got? We got 20 minutes. You know what? Let me touch on Grant Morrison a bit. I'm gonna just write G more here. So Grant Morrison, like I said, famous DC writer, lot of big books. Superman is one of the big ones that he's known for. Did some Lantern runs, a whole bunch of stuff. All right, look him up. It's well worth it. Hey, look, there's LRMonline.com. I caught wind of this via recommendations through Google or whatever. This is on Grant Morrison's Substack. Xanadum. I'm guessing it's a play on Xanadu, but maybe Xanadoom. Maybe Xanadoom. Anyways, he's writing about his time on Superman and the Authority, an arc that wrapped up in 2018 or 2019, and I'm not going to go through all of this. Okay, you guys need to go here. It's free to read these posts that I'm sharing. If you just Google his Grant Morrison Substack, you'll find this. If I remember to, I'll try to put the links in the site and description, because I think this is really important. Part 1, he goes through a whole bunch of stuff, touches on being in the business for decades, talks about feeling certain ways when he realizes how the industry is going. Okay, there's a whole lot of things that can go in there, and you need to read this because there's a lot of context here for why he's saying what he's saying, where he's coming from in it from an insider point of view, and it all comes down to what superheroes are, what comic books are, which is originally meant as a form of escapism. As a matter of fact, and I'm going to transition out of this one for a moment, while I chit-chat a bit with you guys before we go on to part 2, and some actual quotes from Grant, is that DC started out as like ultimate escapism. Their heroes were demigods. They're perfect. Classic Batman, classic Supes, and all of them. There's no flaws. Came about during Great Depression era, World Wars. A lot of bad things. Kids needed some idols to look up to in some fantastical worlds where good defeats evil, and good is clearly defined. Evil is clearly defined. Bad guys are bad guys. Good guys are good guys, and that's important even to this day. Now, on the other side of that, you have Marvel comics, which managed to hold a mirror to society and do commentary in a fantastical setting. Each of their characters designed with flaws in mind, with the human side, sometimes inhuman, joke, but the humanity, the emotional, the spirit, the mentality of it, regardless of the species of the character, that human experience, right? And then individual experiences dealing with racism and stuff, with mutants and LGBT situations throughout multiple books going back at least into the 70s, if I recall correctly. It's different. And so it's easier to get away with characters in Marvel going bad, good guys going bad, because they do have flaws. Tony Stark had alcoholism. Peter Parker started off as a d-bag by using his powers to make money versus helping other people. And you can still get some escapism. You still get those great stories to go off with Supes or Spider-Man and see just something fantastical and a good guy beat a bad guy. But this idea that's used in the Authority and is going to kind of continue on in an upcoming event where they're going to kill all the Justice League people. They're going to be replaced with younger parts, and it's because of all the former Justice League has been doing lots of bad stuff and stuff like that. I'm not 100% on all the specifics, but basically, you've had a long time of we're going to make, Superman a fascist, Supergirl a fat. Everyone that's good is evil. Everyone that's evil is good, or ambiguous, or what's the word I'm looking for? Sympathetic. I like in Uncanny X-Men 500, Ed Brubaker made Magneto a bad guy again after he had been spending a long time as an anti-hero, as a good guy, and I got a chance to ask him, hey man, this is a big deal. It's been a while since Magneto's been bad. What made you want to do this? And he said the best fucking answer ever, because Magneto is a bad guy. I like that. So Grant Morrison goes in to talk about favorite table at the West Hollywood Sunset Marquee, talking about Dan Didio. I'm not sure. I've heard his name pronounced outside. Shaking up the Superman books, like I told you with the fascist direction is the words that Grant Morrison uses. He talks about a great Supergirl arc from 2002 dealing with Bizarro comics, calls it one of the best, and he talks about he doesn't want to write these heroes like it, right? He wanted to approach the idea of how the heroes could maybe make some bad choices in a different way, and he compares Superman to like he goes, I like the idea of an older Superman rethinking his mission and turning into what I saw as a Doc Savage pulp hero figure with his own team of expert operatives, but for the rest of it, and then he trails off. This is the cool part about this that I really liked. He goes, I questioned the desire to attribute the worst aspects of human behavior to characters whose only useful function, as I see it, aside from simply entertaining young people and anyone else who fancies an uplifting holiday in a storybook world, far from the grinding monotony of pessimism and disillusion, is to provide a primary colored cartoon taste of how we all might be if we had the wit and the will and the self-sacrifice it takes to privilege our best selves and loftiest aspirations over our base instincts. Yeah, that's escapism. That's what you do. You create a world that's more perfect than this one, to go live there and get away from the horrors of reality. Why everyone wants to make everything contemporary commentary and everything a statement on something specific, not just. And I'm not talking about any particular demographic. I'm talking about any particular movement or idea. That type of specificity in a contemporary setting. Human experience be damned. what's the word I'm preferring is the P word I was looking for. Preferring self-insertion OP moments and individual experience to a human experience with individual flavor that allows you to appeal to a broad audience, like, you know, mutants could appeal to people dealing with coming out of the closet, people dealing with racism, people dealing with religious persecution, or just a teenager that feels out of place, doesn't feel like they belong. Multiple individual experiences wrapped in a human experience anyone can digest. He continues on, while that great day is unlikely to happen anytime soon in any halfway familiar real world, why not let comic book universes be playgrounds for the kind of utopian impulses that have in the past brought out the best in us? Yes, please do. It's why I watch anime so much more than anything else. Simply because it allows me to escape everything. If I want to watch an anime with a particular target audience or message ideas to explore, I can find those, but it's not everything. It's not in every piece of popular art over there. You're not seeing Ultraman, Godzilla, Sonic, Mario, Cloud Strife all being used for these like modern things. And by modern, again, I'm talking like ideas, not just demographics. I can't express that enough. I speak very plainly. I try not to do anything in code or I try to say what I mean and mean what I say. He goes on again to undermine the fundamental appeal of superheroes like Superman and Supergirl by recasting them as anti-heroes at best or outright monsters, dragging imaginary childhood paragons off their pedestals to reinforce a fairly shit. Sorry guys. I don't know why I'm having trouble reading. I'm gonna stop reading for those of you that can't that aren't on YouTube. Go check it out, and like I said, hopefully I'll put the links down below. There you go. Goes on to talk about basically needing these characters to be what they are. Calls it calls it lazy. He says writing things like that is lazy. I agree. I find, see guys, I just got really tired. Sorry. I find that often people that were bullied as kids are not even necessarily kids. People that feel like they were bullied, potentially truly bullied, that sought solace in these geek things like we did, like I did. You know, I dealt with bullying. Hell, guys, I come from a time when it wasn't cool to play games. It wasn't cool to play or to read comics. It wasn't even cool to be into zombies. Ew, you like horror movies? Those are lame. And now all that's popular, and I love it because it means that others don't have to suffer that. But at the same time, a lot of those that got picked on in the past, my age and a lot younger, they're coming at entertainment as a form of vengeance, as a form of self-insertion. Sometimes rightly so, where certain groups haven't been represented, but then you get crazy things like people that are mad at Dakota Johnson playing Madam Web, when the reality is that the amount of blind actresses that do screen is already small enough. Those that can carry a lead role would be smaller, because all actors and actresses are not created equal, and you have some that aren't leads, and are just great supporting actors and actresses, and some can grow and whatnot. But it's hard to carry a film. It's hard to lead a project, and so you need a blind actress that can lead a project. And then they need to be able to do an action thing. And if you want to have close-ups and during any action scenes, and yes, there is a younger version of Dakota Johnson as the Madam Web character. I mean, what was her name? Julia Carpenter. If you're on the on YouTube, you can see I've got the article shared, and you can see from Ultimate Spider-Man, I think was the cartoon. Anyways. So you don't have a lot of people to pull from, and they're like, oh, well, representation, this, that, and the other. You don't have a lot to pull from. You just don't. And having a blind actress on set comes with its own difficulties. That's why you often see people not blind playing blind roles. There's not a lot to choose from, and then the production itself. Other disabilities are easier to get people on screen to do, but wheelchair superheroes are more difficult to do. Again, you get into the production issues. People with speech issues, like I've got. Mine came about from a head injury. Been way better than I used to be. Hopefully, I can continue to get better, but. The point is that that's one of those things where wanting things to be the way you want them, it isn't gonna work. And it all goes back to that idea of escapism. Comic books are there to be escapism. You're not gonna have a blind person running around doing Julia Carpenter, Madam Web stuff, or Charlie Cox Daredevil stuff. It's not gonna happen. They're not. We don't have blind SF soldiers. That's not to say that there aren't blind people that don't do martial arts and can't do stunts and do fun things. But it's not the average. It's not the normal, and there's not enough. So it's good to see a blind character up on screen, even if it's not a blind actress or actor. And if you can do it, great. But chances are we can't for most of these roles. Just simply because there's no pool to pull from. And in that escapism, you can with escapism though, you can get a blind character doing fantastical things on screen, and inspire and encourage people not to let their disabilities hold them back. But you also you also can't expect all the time a 1-for-1 representation on screen. When possible, when practical, absolutely. But let escapism exist. Find the real good fights to fight. Grant Morrison had a lot of really great words. I highly suggest everyone check out his Substack, and both part 1 and part 2 of that. And I think he said there's going to be a part 3 today. Sorry that this last bit kind of I got confused, lost. I know I droned on a bit about the blind stuff. I meant to connect it a bit better by talking about the escapism of blind characters doing things on screen and being able to inspire people. But it took me a long time to get there. So anyways, let's wrap up the show guys. LRMonline.com every day for all of your entertainment news needs and opinions, interviews, all the podcasts go up here. It's a great site. We love it. I've been here almost 4 years. Still get a chance to write. I wrote the Dakota Johnson Madam Web piece, and then doing all the podcasts, which are available wherever you get those from. Google, Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Great shows like this one, the Daily Cup of Genre, Anime-Versal Reviews, doing Sabikui Bisco. Marvel Multiverse Mayhem will be back next week with Nick and I doing a I don't know how to work, because it was hard to talk about the awful movie, but doing a supercut and a full audio commentary on X-Men Origins Wolverine. Breaking Geek Radio, the Cantina's back with Star Wars news, all good stuff. Check it out. All available on our YouTube channel. Hit the red subscribe button if you will. Like I said, we don't get a lot of push because don't censor anything. Maybe I should. I do like my money. I don't get any money directly from this, but if I can make the company more money, then I think I've got a good shot at asking them for more money. So yeah, hit that subscribe button. I suggest my Nope reaction. If you've never seen me afraid, this is it, and I explain why and all that. It's a good watch. Yeah, check it out. All right, guys. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you to all the new subscribers, everyone that might check this out because of my Nope trailer. Thank you. Give us some more ideas of other things you would like to see on the channel. I know Nick and others want to bring a Star Trek podcast to fruition, so hopefully that can happen. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next show. Bye.